So you see that elevate. Then you see the numbers go off and finish up in the finishing in the paint. What is that? That's movement without the ball or with the ball when he gets to the rack. And one area that I still want to see him improve upon, Pop, I think he can go down in the post and punish people down there. That'd be my last thing.
He started doing that a little bit at the end of the 13-14 year, the George Hill post-up. He's not doing that as much, you're right, on just the ISO post-ups.
And if he does that, then he gets to the free throw line more.
And you know what the beauty thing about Klay Thompson playing with Steph is his lack of ego. Whenever you ask Klay, he said the best player in the world is Steph Curry. He doesn't want to give me the ball. Look at my numbers. I need more. The greed of more. There's nothing like that with this guy. He knows he's a very, very excellent player, but Steph Curry is the best player in the world and the best player on this team.
That's what makes the chemistry, the togetherness, the belief in each other. That's why this team is special.
Yeah, got to have one guy who is clearly your leader no matter what sport it is, if it's basketball or if it's football. And I think you're all gearing up for a big game on Sunday. I know Steph is, and his hometown team is here. We'll talk about the similarities in the games and just the similarity between a shooting point guard and a running quarterback, Steph Curry and Cam Newton. Chinatown in Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia. That's where the Verizon Center is. We're getting ready for Warriors basketball on Warriors Pregame Live, presented by Metro PCS.
Warriors anytime, anywhere.
Welcome back to Warriors Pregame Live, presented by Metro PCS. You know what's great about Steph Curry? He could be that kid. He wouldn't be holding his own jersey, though. But this kid is idolizing Steph Curry. Steph Curry has a little kid in him, and he's also a fan. He's a fan of Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. He was out there earlier this year to pound the drum, and what a year they've had. One loss all year, now one win away from a Super Bowl title. And if you look at it, the similarities between Steph Curry, the reigning MVP of the NBA, and the guy who was going to be voted on Saturday night, the MVP of the National Football League, Cam Newton.
Unstoppable. That's probably the best way to describe Charlotte's two most beloved athletes. Young superstars in the midst of historic seasons, bringing an excitement level unparalleled in their sport. One with hardware and the other on the doorstep. But for everything Steph Curry and Cam Newton have in common, they are polar opposites in many ways. One is a physical marvel, a combination of size and speed never before seen at his position. The other, undersized in a game full of giants. One overpowers his opponent, while the other uses uncanny skill to dissect his adversary. One entered the league showered in praise. The other forced skeptics to eat their words. One jaw drop at a time. Now the two share a bond. A mutual respect based on athletic excellence. The likely NFL MVP hopes to join the NBA MVP in another exclusive club. World champions.
Well, not yet. Cam has one big football game to win Sunday, but he is going to win the NFL MVP on Saturday night. When you look at it, Saint, the concept of the running quarterback in the NFL, to me, has always been very similar to the concept of the shooting point guard. For years, Bob Cousy won in Isaiah, but you have to build a whole attack around it, and both these franchises have. They built their offense in Carolina around the quarterback running, and the Warriors have built their offense around the point guard shooting.
I think it's a great comparison, and we see in some aspects, we know that Steph Curry's revolutionizing the point guard position, and you're the expert on the football, and I watch this guy, and I marvel at the way he can run the basketball and manage the game. One thing I love about both of them, Steph Curry signing those autographs before the game, and Newton, after every touchdown, which are a lot of them, he's always giving a ball to one of the kids. I love that.
And they have a lot of fun. They look like they're just showing up to play, but they've been working all day and all week to get ready, and they make it look easy. Let's check out the lineup for the 44-4 defending NBA champion. Steph Curry at point guard, Klay Thompson at big guard. The front line, Harrison Barnes, small forward, Draymond Green, power forward, and Andrew Bogut at center. For Steve Kerr, meeting the Washington, D.C. media before the game, they asked him if it's a challenge to keep your team motivated. After all, they are 44-4. And, of course, they had to ask him about the Kevin Durant rumor, Saintly.
It's not really much of a challenge at all. It seems like every once in a while we lose our focus, so every once in a while I have to yell at them or do something. But for the most part, this is a very self-motivated group. They love to win. They love playing. They enjoy what they do, and everything seems to take care of itself at that point.
I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on the Wojnarowski article about Durant and that possibility. Is it a concern of yours that will impact how players feel currently?
No, it's just speculation. So I don't have any concern over it. It's not even anything I'll address with the players.
What was it like when you got fined that one time?
When I got fined for
tampering or whatever?
Yeah. I think I made a joke about LeBron was going to be a free agent, and I was on the Dan Patrick show, and he said, are you guys going to go after LeBron? I was the GM of Phoenix, and I think I said, we'll give him mid-level if he'll take it, making a joke, and it cost me $10,000. It's an expensive, bad joke.
$10K for offer of the mid-level exception? Somebody have a sense of humor. Here's the 21 and 25 lineup for the Washington Wizards, who are without head coach Randy Whitman. His brother passed away on Saturday, so he missed the games Monday in Oklahoma City. He'll miss again tonight, so interim assistant coach Don Newman will run the club. It'll be Wall. Garrett Temple having a very good year, his sixth year in the NBA's best. Otto Porter is a young man from Georgetown, third overall pick, also playing well. They're going small. Jared Dudley and Marcin Gortat. Let's get the Saint scouting report of the 21 and 25 Washington Wizards. And as Jim Barnett was saying, this team can score. Nene will play off the bench. Ramon Sessions. They'll bring Bradley Beal off the bench, saying they can score. But right now, they cannot defend and they cannot rebound. Even with the two bigs, Gortat and Nene, they can't rebound. So how are they going to stop the highest scoring team in pro basketball tonight?
Well, first, condolences to Randy Whitman. He's an old friend, the passing of his brother, and an old friend, Don Newman, coaching. Used to coach up at Sac State when I was with the Kings. Pop, they've gone to Jared Dudley at the 4. Good corner, three-point shooter, toughness, good tough guy. Otto Porter from Georgetown, nice player. He's starting to really emerge. He was razor thin when he was drafted. It's filled out. Gortat can score in there, but he's not much of a defender. Temple fills in for Beal in the two-guard spot, and then we've talked about Wall. The key now for me is what's Beal going to do off the bench, because they're going to need Porter, Gortat, Wall, and Beal to get the scoring done for him. And watch out one guy, Gary Neal, who used to be in San Antonio. If he comes in and makes his first three, you got to really pay attention to him.
Yeah, they were asking Steve Kerr about motivation. This team is self-motivated. But one concern, watching Wizards home games and just seeing some shots here.
Wyatt.
Even with the defending champions, I assume they're going to sell out the Verizon Center tonight for Steph Curry and the Warriors. But the building looks a little dreary tonight, which they don't get whether they're at home or on the road, Saint, ever.
Well, there's no snow back there. They just had rain today. So, hey, listen, wherever the Warriors go, it'll be full. We saw all those young guys with all their jerseys on. We might hear a lot of cheering tonight for the Warriors. I think that's what's going to happen here.
All right, Warriors winding up their road trip. They are going to stay in D.C., of course, tomorrow morning, go to the White House and be feted by President Barack Obama as the defending NBA champions, then come home to take on Durant and Westbrook on Saturday. They're all locked in. There are not many there, but those that are, I think, are Warrior fans. Enjoy Warrior basketball against John Wall. Game is next.
The perfect getaway vehicle.
It's All-Stars in the nation's capital. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, best backcourt in the league. Draymond Green's going for the first time, and John Wall runs the Wizards. All-Stars on a D.C. night coming at you. It's the White House visit tomorrow to celebrate the championship. But tonight, the Warriors taking on the Wizards in the Verizon Center. The best start in NBA history continues as the defending champs are seeking their second term as NBA title winners, taking on the Wizards right now. Hello, everybody. Bob Fitzgerald alongside Jim Barnett. And It's hard not to get excited about tomorrow. That's the last vestige of winning a championship. But the Warriors have won 7 in a row. They're playing great basketball. Want to come home with a perfect road trip.
They've got to focus on a team tonight that's struggling in the East. Right now, they're out of the playoffs, and yet they've beaten Chicago, they've beaten Cleveland, they've beaten San Antonio. They can be really good, and you want to keep them on their back step.
If you look at the Warriors, Steph Curry has been a revelation. Draymond Green's been incredible. But the development and continued improvement of Klay Thompson, not only is he scoring, but in so many different ways now, Klay has been absolutely spectacular in the last 3.
He really has, Bob. He's had a growth spurt in his game. And it's not just the three-point shooting. He's taking people off the dribble, up and under, showing the ball, and getting to the basket and getting to the free throw line consequently.
Heading into the All-Star break, 37 a game the last 3 at ridiculous shooting percentages.
Well, those are awesome numbers, awesome percentages. And it's one thing to be a great shooter and a scorer, but to carry the team like he has done the last few games, particularly when Steph Curry's been a little off, 5 of 17 shooting in New York. So they need him tonight, but I have a sneaking suspicion that Mr. MVP will come alive again, and you're going to see a big game from him. If they get them both going, then it's an easy win.
That's the best backcourt in the NBA. Steph Curry looking for a bit of a bounce back. But for the Warriors, when you look at the point guard matchup, this is the one to watch tonight. Curry, the 3-time All-Star, going to the White House tomorrow. He's leading his team, looking for the perfect road trip, while John Wall, equal All-Star. Watch the point guards tonight. Wizards and Warriors with Greg and the guys back in the studio right after this.
Warriors.
Well, the Warriors are most looking forward to tomorrow morning and going to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. But you got to go there with a victory. You don't want to go there. 44-5 is great to most teams, but not this team that's already 44-4. So, Sadely, how do they get to 45-4?
Well, this is one of those Eastern Conference backcourts that sent the message out that they were the best backcourt in the NBA. I think you're going to see tonight that Steph and Klay are really going to play well, and that's going to be the determining factor, I think, in this game. The front line will take care of itself. It's going to be the backcourts against each other.
Bradley Beal will play off the bench. He will come in about 5 minutes into the first quarter. Let's see if Steve Kerr alters his player rotation. Normally, mid-first quarter, he takes Klay out. You may want to leave Klay in the remainder of the first quarter to match up with Bradley Beal. So it's Steph on John Wall and Klay on Bradley Beal. Verizon Center, Washington, D.C. Enjoy it. Warriors against the Wizards. We'll see you at halftime. The game is next.
To bring you Wendy's North Pacific.
It's time for tip-off. Here is Fitz and JB.
All right, Klay Thompson, and as Jim mentioned, Klay has been carrying the Warriors the last 3 games. Final game of the 3-game road trip, our tour of the Eastern Seaboard. First time the Warriors have seen the Wizards this year. And having won 7 in a row and 44-4, looking to continue that NBA best beginning to a season ever. And
let's see if Klay Thompson can continue his torrid shooting over the last 4 games. How about hitting 14 of his last 17 shots in New York?
Our Xfinity starting lineups. First for the Warriors was Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green, and Andrew Bogut. For Washington, John Wall, Garrett Temple, Jared Dudley, Otto Porter, and Marcin Gortat. And Jim, Bradley Beal is not starting right now. He has been banged up throughout the season, playing more minutes in recent games. But they've got to find him healthy at some point. That stress reaction he keeps getting in his leg. He was the 9th best three-point shooter a year ago.
Yes, he's only played 25, basically half the games so far this year. He's missed 75 games in his first 3.5 years in this league. And it's someone they want to start counting on. That's a good backcourt with Wall and Beal, if they are healthy.
So John Wall, lethal in penetrating, setting up Jared Dudley. Dudley has been at 46% on threes for this year, which is a huge elevation in percentage for him.
And he's their best three-point shooter. The Warriors left him open there. Trying to get Klay off early.
A tough step back. Dudley can play the D, and that time he was pretty good. You see the speed of Wall.
I said before, he's a racehorse. He's like a thoroughbred. He was born to run.
So the threes, This is definitely a team that could score from the outside, and Garrett Temple able to stripe that one.
Undrafted player who's worked himself into the lineup.
Get with the left hand, off iron. And Clay saw that outlet all the way. Took it away from Temple. Draymond lob. And we got a foul. Threw it a little high for Bogut. Our roundtable key ingredients of the game. Jimmy, what do you got?
I'd like to see him get off to a better start here. So act like a front runner. Get off to a good start for a change. And ball movement against this club means defensive lapses. It means that way with everybody, but this is a team that's very vulnerable. I talked about their lack of good defense this year. They're not as good as they were last year.
Bogut rebounding the Klay Thompson miss.
And part of the reason they're not as effective, they have a 20th defensive rating. Last year they ended up 5th, is they are poor on their rotations.
Yep. So act like a front runner. There is no primary season for the Warriors. They are the #1 nominee.
Yeah, very good.
Play good pump fake and then the reload. Wall's always going to keep pressure on the defense, but Curry deflected that. Watch Draymond move his feet. That's just how you play defense. You don't reach, you don't foul. You move your feet, you stay straight up, and you send Dudley away. Harrison Barnes' jumper is perfect. All off the hub of that offense, which is Bogut at the high post.
Move the ball, run your offense, you'll get your shots. You don't have to force the shots.
You know, I had to remember Jim Otto Porter.
Yes.
Was the #3 pick in 2013. He hits the jumper there. And he's one of those players that they had Ariza and then they had Paul Pierce, and Porter was finding his way into the rotation. Now those guys gone, the wing spots are open.
We'll talk about their draft picks over the last few years because the Warriors have a big step up in that department against them.
Curry had to beat the shot clock buzzer, and he does with a 3.
You go back to 2009, they had the #5 pick.
There's Wall being sent away. Draymond got a piece of that.
Make them uncomfortable. Well, that's what happens when you go behind in.
Temple had hit 1-3.
But I think he made the right choice there. Otherwise, he goes over the top. Temple may just drive it all the way.
Harrison hit one jumper, make it another. The Warriors, 4 of 8 beginning.
It's a real luxury to play alongside Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Stephen Curry.
Todd had the early seal, but couldn't finish there. Knocked out of bounds, it's Washington ball. So Don Newman is the acting head coach with Randy Whitman not here. He's been with San Antonio in addition to Washington.
Randy losing his brother this past week.
Yes.
That still will go behind on John Wall.
Bogut, good close out there. Dudley able to carry on. And Wall hitting the corner 3.
He's much better from the corner. It's, what is it? 1 foot 9 inches shorter.
Yeah, 22 feet in the corner, so set at 23-9 around the arc.
He is better.
Steph Curry, he can hit 3s from anywhere.
This isn't going to surprise me tonight. If he has a big game, I mean, he's had 2 games in a row, and in particular asking at 5 of 17, where he was a little, it wasn't Steph Curry. He's getting it up in the air now.
Temple off iron. Bogut continues to rebound. He had 28 rebounds in the last 40 minutes he's played. And Curry a little bit of a heat check and went in anyway. Now Barnes also was fouled, so you could end up having a 4-point play.
That's a nice little added bonus. That little hitch with the ball stayed in his left hand the entire time. He looks like he's going to do a crossover, and that's why the defender takes the bite.
And then the silly foul by Porter. And so Harrison Barnes the opportunity to complete the 4-point play. And he does.
Well, so far they are acting like front runners. They've forced some steals, turnovers. They're getting good looks, and they're converting.
Skip pass to Temple. Draymond's there, good rotation. Temple mid-range is off. Draymond in motion. It's a 2-on-1. Dropping it to Clay perfectly to hammer it down.
You could see that one coming. Clay ran hard. He knew he was going to be the recipient. And Draymond pushing it like that, just kept that 2-on-1 and the pressure on them.
Warriors are off to the races, 7 of 11 shooting, building a quick 10-point lead, run the 2-on-1 perfectly, and Washington takes time. So many landmarks, so much history, such a great city to be in Washington, D.C. Our Lexus pursuit of perfection. Draymond Green tying Tom Gola with 9 triple-doubles. And then you get to non-guard situations where you think of Grant Hill and Wilt. And Draymond's just doing some amazing things. The season not nearly over, and they send away Gortat.
He just did an amazing thing there. He just comes from up top. He just sniffs out the play. And Gortat never let loose of the ball and took it out of bounds. That's a block shot for Draymond.
Perfect ball movement. Harrison unable to hit the corner 3, but that is the right play to make. Bradley Beal checking into the game as Dudley misses the layup.
They've missed a couple of opportunities in the open court already, as Washington.
Steph Curry, 4 for 4. Now, a man with a mustache, when we came on the air, said Curry would have a bounce-back game. Jim, when's that going to start happening?
Answered by Dudley there, but you just know he's got too much pride. He's got too much talent.
4 for 4 on threes. And that time, expecting Bogut to roll, and Andrew commits the foul. So 4 for 4 on threes for the MVP. And the Human Torch has made his way to Washington, D.C.
I'll tell you what he's doing. He had a dribble left there after it was disrupted. He goes and catches it. He's doing that little move where you go one way and throw the ball the other and chase it down. He's becoming effective with that, too.
Ball had it knocked away right back to him. And the Wizards still having problems finishing inside.
Yeah, missing a lot of bunnies. They're shooting at 28%.
Played. Nice save. The cutting. Steph Curry is thrown into the basket standard, but not until he had made the layup.
Well, you make him pay the price because they have to come out because he can shoot so well as John Wall knocks down the little 18-footer. But when you have the game, and that's what I talked about, the growth spurt of Klay Thompson. He can shoot so well outside, but now all of a sudden they start overplaying. They come running at you, and he just goes right off the dribble, takes him inside. And both those guys can now score inside, outside, everywhere.
Curry another 3. 6 of 6. The Curry flurry, and he's got 17.
He knows he's going to talk to the president tomorrow, and he only wants to hear good things.
Beal on the turnaround, and Gortat the rebound. Beal unable to finish with the left hand. Finds Steph again. He's that hot. He's in the corner. Another 3 and his first miss of the night.
One of his easiest. Can't make them all.
Dudley attacking. Beal's a lethal shooter.
Yeah, they're getting it together from outside now themselves.
4 of 7 on threes for Washington. Gortat, good vision on the ball there. He saved a layup.
He's been playing very well lately. He's their leading rebounder. Gives you about 14 points a night. Last 5 games have been up a little bit. He's tough. He competes.
So are you saying because he's going to see the president and it is debate season and Steph is making an opening statement?
I believe that's a factor. Yes. He's got the floor.
Yes, he does. He owns the floor. So Andre Iguodala's first playing time.
Oh, nice play.
Good catch to handle it cleanly. Iguodala for 3. Andrew another rebound. Klay Thompson on the reload. So Andrew Bogut has played 48 minutes. And he has 33 rebounds in his last 48 minutes on this trip.
That's a good ratio.
Play a full game and have a 33 rebound game. He's doing everything. Round wall. And that was a lob that was going to become a bank. And Bogut was fouled. Yeah, there's an energy level with Steph Curry that's ridiculous right now.
Well, you're getting all kinds of opportunities at the rim for Andrew Bogut. They've just been off target about 3 times, unfortunately. So
Andrew kind of did a good thing there, Jimmy. He waited for that. The lob was so off.
Yes.
He let it just bank off the glass and then tried to follow it in. He's firing on the free throw.
They say it was a controlled tap, so he does shoot free throws.
Tonight's game and all Warrior games on CSN are streamed live via the NBC Sports Live Extra app on your mobile phone or tablet. Stream the Warriors on the go. And in this stretch of 10 of 12 on the road, the Warriors are absolutely on the go. Traveling everywhere. Both free throws missed.
He's got a bucket, 5 rebounds, a couple of assists.
Nene.
Yeah, he's going to be a little different than Gortat. You've got to play him at 15 feet out because he likes to take that shot. He's very, very mobile and can handle the ball. I like to play Nene early on so he doesn't get going. Take the spike right out of him.
Well, Draymond lays that in, but you're so right. And Steph with the steal. And a diving attempt by Dudley. Curry, 3, good!
Look at this crowd. Listen to them.
There is hot, and then there is thermonuclear. Steph is 7 of 8, 6 of 7 on threes. He's got 20 points in 9 minutes. Steph Curry and the Warriors, 34-18 beginning. Act like the front runner and make sure when you're in D.C. you yield to the senator from North Carolina. Oh my goodness.
The perfect getaway.
They are buzzing in D.C. over the Curry flurry. Beal attacking. And with Bogut out, Spates couldn't get there in time.
Well, you can see why Bradley Beal can play that small forward spot.
Curry one more time. You got to be kidding me.
Oh, my word.
8 of 9. Steph
Unconscious.
Curry, he's got 23, and he already has 7 threes.
As I said, sometimes he just makes you laugh. It's so utterly ridiculous how good he is.
This is one where he's the point guard, but from a heat check perspective, get him the ball.
I was going to say, he may go from there.
Knocked down and having it stolen. And Draymond, the foul in response.
I tell you, Draymond does a great job of getting back. He gets back and defending 2 players. They do foul, put them on the line when we come back.
So 2:04 remaining in the first. Steph Curry, 7 20-point quarters, already 23 here in the first.
And streaming on CSNBayArea.com and NBC Sports Live Extra.
There was a great moment on the Warrior bench. Steve Kerr and Luke Walton are looking at each other like, what do we do? I know, let's make the Ford-right choice and just get the ball to Steph Curry. He's 8 of 9, 7 of 8 on threes, 23 points, and is single-handedly had this building levitating. I mean, we have seen the Human Torch before, but this has been fun.
Well, we have that graphic 10 times in his career. He's had 20-point quarters or more.
7 this year.
7 this year just validates how much better he is than his previous MVP season.
It's
remarkable.
It's super fun to watch.
It is.
As Dudley hits the free throw. And the other thing it puts in perspective, a year ago, we watched Steph has 23 here. in 10 minutes.
Yes.
We watched Klay Thompson score 37 in about 9.5 minutes.
That's old hat now. That was last year. we saw. Well, Steph's had a 28-point quarter down in Charlotte. He scored 24 straight in that one for the Warriors. We've seen another 24-pointer in New Orleans. Let's just see how this transpires over the last 2 minutes.
Ramon Sessions checking in. They tried to hit Barbosa back door. Did well to keep it in bounds.
Move the ball. Just keep moving. Passing better than dribbling.
Shot clock at 6. A double step. It rewards Draymond, and he's fouled.
What a pass from Stephen Curry. Eyes in the back of his head. He sees two men trailing him. Watch this zip pass right down the gut of the defense.
And the key is, and Jim, you had crazy quarters and crazy scoring halves.
Everybody does.
Steph's still making the right play.
Oh, yes.
The right play there is not to shoot against the double team. It's to move the ball.
Well, it didn't surprise anybody, did it?
No.
Draymond Green is ready to catch. That was a beautiful play.
So Bay Area native Drew Gooden in year 14 checking in.
That's one of those plays where he doesn't get an assist, but the assists and the attempts at doing that lead to about 70-some points a night.
Right. So Steph Curry, Barbosa, Draymond Green, Iguodala, Mo Space, Drew Gooden, Ramon Sessions with Nene, Bradley Beal, and Garrett Temple for Washington. Sessions is not the perimeter shooter, but he will set up teammates, and Beal is off to a nice beginning. Bradley Beal's got 7 on 3 of 5 shooting.
And 6 minutes here.
Bosa, Spates trying to clean it up. Knocked out of bounds. Still Warrior ball.
I love the staggered screen, and two men jump again.
That time Steph, the one-hand pass. Nene was ready for it. Iguodala, same thing. Nearly had the steal. Bradley Beal. Mo Spates with Ezeli out again and James Michael McAdoo out. Mo has improved his rebounding as the backup center. It's a key part. Barbosa was expecting contact, never got it, just missed the layup.
Overshot the ball. On the rim.
Washington can go 2 for 1. And Nene will do just that, missing the jumper.
Well, the way the Warriors play, they could do 2 for 1, but probably not now.
Mo running the floor and hurling it in. Good find from Iguodala.
Keep the pressure on. They've got another 40-point quarter for him. Up by 15. I don't want to say anything, but it's been about 95 games that way, right? They haven't lost, but they're up 15.
Ramon Sessions finishing.
93, 94, somewhere in that range.
Steph Curry to end the quarter with 2.2. So a 25-point first quarter. And that shot came after the buzzer. So Steph Curry. Was it Mr. Smith that went to Washington? Mr. Curry has come to D.C. with 25 in the first. And the Warriors building the 15-point advantage.
We need to be ready.
The Lincoln Memorial here in Washington, D.C. with Steph Curry doing something he's never done before. 7 threes in a quarter for the first time in his career, which now leads you to what's the NBA record for threes in a quarter? Well, it was Klay Thompson with 9.
9, yes.
Last year against Sacramento.
But you know what? Neither one of them have the NBA game record.
Which is 12. Held by Kobe Bryant and Daniel Marshall.
Klay came very close in Indiana.
At 11.
So that's certainly within reach, you would surmise.
Kobe turned the clock back last night with 7 threes in the game. And the Lakers beating Minnesota. bothered him just enough. Beginning the second here, Barbosa and Livingston.
That's the way to move the ball. He's a little short on the pass, otherwise he has a dunk.
Good fronting by Beal and a nice steal. Bradley Beal's a great player.
Yeah, he's just not one-dimensional, is he, from three-point range?
Well, he got the steal. He attacked the defense, found a seam, then was able to finish and still draw the foul.
Yeah, and Speights had his back halfway turned, so couldn't give help in there. You've got to always see the ball. That's the primary thing there. You can see your man, but you've got to see the ball, and you've got to stop the line of attack.
Third pick in 2012. And you went through the Washington draft picks. They could have added a different player alongside Beal had they so chosen.
Well, in 2012, they got a few things. We'll talk about it as it goes on. 2011 draft, they got nothing out of it with Vesely and Singleton, neither in the league right now.
Right.
And one was a number 6 pick.
Cutting Livingston. See, now, that's going to be a dunker layup by Speights. The guy who saves it, Bradley Beal. And that's why having him play only 25 games is a big reason Washington is under 500. Speights to beat the shot clock.
Well, Washington and every team knows that the Warriors have a lot of players that can put points on the board.
Oh, Livingston, beautiful steal.
He's trying a 2-on-1. He's got an angle.
Iguodala put it right back to him. And Sean to the line. That was pretty.
He's well liked here in Washington, former Washington player.
Take me through Iguodala's decision-making here.
He just thought that he would take the lone defender and draw him to him and drop it back, and it did work perfectly. Actually, he got fouled there, but 9 out of 10 times Sean makes that shot.
And he sold it as if he was going to Barbosa, and then cleverly got it to Livingston.
He still had a threat for him to even shoot it while he was going to Barbosa.
3 of the Warriors going to the All-Star game, and all the All-Star apparel available at Warriors.com. T-shirts are in for men, women, and kids. And we had Livingston miss the first free throw, which is very remarkable because Sean at 93% on the season is the best Warrior free thrower by percentage. Made the second. On Sessions feeds set and hitting a 3. That's not normally his game, but if he's wide open, he'll make you pay. 34%.
He's got a lot of players around that 32 to 35% mark. And then you got Neal and
Dudley. Yeah, they're the ones you got to watch. Gooden's got Livingston. He thinks he has a mismatch. And yet Sean made him take a 12-foot turnaround jump hook.
Yeah, I was going to say half hook. He would yield that.
There's Barnes, trail 3.
I love it that he's able to step into a shot like that because most of the time it's going down for him. And you can see, can you feel the confidence in that shot? As he catches it, no hesitation, boom.
Warriors 9 of 13 on threes. Steph has 7 of them. And it can be a handful on the block. That's a nice delivery, but couldn't finish. Second unit pretty frisky for the Warriors tonight.
They really have to make them up at the defensive end.
Pick and fade, and that's Mo Spain's game right there.
Offense is really gravy for them, but they just got to clamp down the defense out there. They got a great one in Iguodala, Livingston, Barbosa is terrific this year, Barnes, Speights is probably last in that department, but they got to make up for it.
Sean, a rare mishandle.
Didn't get too many turnovers, you're right.
Gooden curl out the 3. For the Warriors, you're inviting Drew Gooden to take threes.
Without question.
24% on the season. But you know what's funny over the years and all the different teams Drew Gooden has played for?
Yes.
When he plays his hometown team, the Warriors, he shoots a lot.
Yes, he does.
No matter what uni he's wearing.
That pass is way too high for Harrison.
Yeah, shot clock at 2. Speights has to bail him out. Did well just to hit iron.
Sometimes big men don't understand that smaller players don't want it. They don't want it shoulder level, thrown at him, on quick speed.
Tough cover for Barbosa. Beal gets to the rim. Steve Kerr is going to use a timeout. 13-point advantage. 7:44 remaining in the first half. The best three-point shooting team in the NBA. And putting it on display tonight.
It's Toyota's President's Day.
In the skyline of Washington, D.C. with the Warriors up 13. Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett with you. Our Geico Advanced Analytics, Jim, how about this? The highest field goal percentage in January, February, guards only, Sean Livingston and Brandon Rush lead the NBA.
Well, great players from coming off the bench like that, and a lot of Brandon Rush's shots were threes, of course, but Sean was 4 of 4 in New York for his 11 points. At Philly, he was 2 of 4. Against Dallas at home, he's 4 of 5. How about the San Antonio game when he was 6 of 6? How about the Chicago game where hometown near there, 6 of 8?
What I like is you're mentioning a lot of quality opponents in Cleveland and San Antonio and Chicago. He saves his best for the bigger games.
He was perfect in Cleveland. Not many shots, but 2 of 2. Well, he's been terrific.
Sean missing the turnaround there. Bottom quarterback in, Gary Neal, John Wall. Marching Gortat, reversing. So right now, Wall plays the off guard here, Jim, and Ramon Sessions plays the point. So they're trying to get 2 ball handlers.
It doesn't matter. When that fast break goes for them, it's going to find John Wall most of the time.
Harrison Barnes is locked in. He's been scuffling the last 5 games at 35% shooting, but he's 4 of 5 tonight.
It's not only Curry blistering. The rest of the team is playing really well.
Say, Wall's jumper looks better than years past.
Without question. When he came to the league, they said he had an awful jump shot.
Brandon Rush, speaking of hot shooters.
I'll tell you what Brandon Rush has done. When Harrison missed those 16 games and he came in, he got his confidence back, and he flourished. And he got all the numbers going. So he's worked himself into a few more years in this league. That's about it, for sure. Whether here or somewhere else. He is going to be a player on a roster. And deservedly so. Plays defense, too.
They looking for a seam, but had it stripped on the way out.
Well, there's a little knack there. You have to protect the ball. He stopped there.
They kept waiting for Sessions to pass, and instead he crushed it.
As I say, your first line of defense, stop the ball. They're allowing too many points. I know Steve Kerr, that's why he called that timeout.
Pocket 7, Clay catch and shoot 3. Nobody back defensively, so you missed the 3 and allowed the layup.
Clay took the long shot straight out. And he missed it, but he went for the rebound. And if you do that, you're the last protector. You better come up with the ball. It didn't happen.
So the 17-point lead is now single digits. And Washington getting back into the game. And their running game right down the seam.
Do it all.
CSN, the authentic home of the champs.
The White House. The Warriors will be visiting tomorrow before they head home to the Bay Area. The lead at 9. And our McDonald's true story. For his malaria initiative, Steph Curry spoke at the White House a year ago. Nothing but nets. Got to spend some time with Bo and Sonny, the presidential dogs. That Oval Office, somewhat famous. And the President of the United States, whom we will see tomorrow.
Maybe the press called Stephen Curry this afternoon and said, hey, I don't want a 5 of 17 performance like Madison Square Garden. You know, we've got a directive from Barack Obama, perhaps.
When the leader of the free world asks,
yes,
you must deliver.
That's what I'm saying. We better ask him about that.
Well, I think this is the first president to really embrace and be incredibly knowledgeable about the NBA. I know Barack Obama, our president, is anxious to meet you, Jim. He's been watching all these Warrior games. Let me meet Jim Barnett.
Yeah, right. I'm sure. I'm just laughing at something. We'll talk about it.
Steph Curry fouled.
One time the Celtics championship team visited the White House. I'm trying to think of whether it was Johnson. It might have been JFK because they were winning all the championships then. And Tom Sanders, who's a graduate of NYU, very, very bright guy. He didn't know what to say. He says, "How's it going, baby?" That was his retort to the president.
Curry at 27 now. Well, tomorrow, Jim, if you're tongue-tied for a second, Mr. President, how's it going, baby? It'd be memorable.
You got to remember, this is back in the 60s for someone to say that. How's it going, baby?
Otto Porter missing from the corner. Klay Thompson curling out that three. And I think heading into halftime here, Steve Kerr doesn't want to see the Warriors take the easy way out. They've controlled the game, but Washington's got enough firepower. If they're not careful.
He's talking defense.
And Draymond played it right there. What a pass by Brandon Rush. And Steph Curry with the corkscrew lefty layup.
This guy is magnificent. Anywhere on the floor. And his left hand is just as dominant as the right.
Reaching foul.
His offhand is the best in the league. I mean, this is not an easy shot using your strong hand. You're warding off a defender. You're trying to look at him. Where is he? And you got to stretch. I mean,
that play typifies opening night where I was having a conversation with Jerry West and Rick Barry. And both of them said, man, if we had Curry's left hand.
Yeah.
And they said, well, you're two of the 12 best players maybe to ever play the sport. I said, no, Steph Curry's left hand is that special as Bogut is fouled again. On these controlled tips, you can't body the guy. I mean, it is a shot attempt and it is a foul. The crowd didn't particularly care for it, but it was not that hard a call. Andrew, 4 assists to go with his 5 rebounds. Rim that free throw out.
Yeah, he'd like that one. He missed his first 2. That one he thought had a good chance to go in. Warriors already at the line. Well, 4 times as many times they got in New York.
For Andrew, missed both of those were straight on, just rattled out. Had to lead as high as 17. It was 15 at the end of 1, 13 right now. And Wall, you just see the explosiveness.
How fast is he? How many times have you seen Andrew Bogut not get to the rim there defensively?
Otto Porter with a beautiful steal. And Bogut made sure he was going to have to shoot free throws.
Well, Draymond likes to challenge himself, so he did a little trick dribbling there and got caught out between half court and the three-point line. So their turnovers are costing them. Watch him go, get a little low here, go behind the back and right to the hands of a defender.
And that play typifies when you hear scouts talk about length. Porter's 6'8", but huge wingspan, and just pick the pocket right there.
You're playing into Washington's hand. They're number 5 in the league in points off turnovers. And by the way, they're number 2 in the league fast break points, right behind the Warriors. The Warriors have 13 fast break points. Excuse me, the Warriors have 12 fast break points. The Wizards have 13.
Right.
So you have 2 fast break teams here, and Washington's still in this game, despite the exploits of Stephen Curry.
So we talked about Porter being the 3rd pick in the draft. These are all career best numbers for him at over 12 a game. Free throws down and back to single digits. Stephen, Clay, Iguodala, Draymond, and Harrison. This is the small lineup. And Klay Thompson right to the rim. Clay did well to get in front of Wall there and force the miss. That is not easy.
Well, you're not going to stop that shot with this kind of speed and that step back.
Curry behind the back down the lane to lay it in. Stephen Curry with 31.
It's fun.
Draymond Green the block. Off to the races again. Harrison. And just careening out of control.
You got to throw ahead to Thompson in the corner. You pass the ball ahead, particularly if someone's open. You can see the frustration on Clay. I know he's trying to make that play. It gets a little.
Steph committed the foul to stop the break. 25 in the first, 6 here in the second, and absolutely the showman tonight in D.C. Curry is 12 of 13. The Warriors lead at 13. Washington's got a couple in the trophy case, but the AT&T U-verse Rewind is always going to be memorable for Warrior fans.
Four straight.
The sweep. Rick Barry was incredible, playing with Clifford Ray. Bill King counting it down.
Yeah, his bad game was 20 points. Only took about 12 shots. You see Jeff Mullins, the twilight of his career. Butch Beard, whom I talked to when we were in New York, had 2 free throws there, could have really wrapped it up. Missed that first one, but made the second one, made it count. And the Bullets were heavily favored. You can see what Rick did, nearly 30 points a game. And Phil Chenier was quite a player out of Berkeley High, and
sitting about 10 feet to your right.
Yes, he is. Berkeley High and University of California, Berkeley.
Yeah, Phil Chenier and Antoine Jameson.
Played with Charles Johnson, former Warrior there at Cal. Yeah, Antoine, they've got a little 3 group there. It's nice.
Shot clock at 1. And Wall beating the buzzer. Hey, he is special attacking the bucket.
Not only is he fast, Bob, he's quick. And those are 2 different things.
John Wall with 13, Bradley Beal double figures. Curry was fouled as he began the drive. Wizards had one to give here.
They fouled because otherwise he's going to be shooting. It'll be 2 free throws or a made basket and a free throw, so they got him just in time.
Well, he's only 12 of 13, so maybe starting to foul him might be a good idea.
He goes back door.
Shot clock at 5. Draymond, tough runner. Field goal on the foul and the flex.
I'll tell you what, he demonstrates there. He's getting the ability to get some contact. Kind of initiated himself with, watch the little bump here. Comes in, you see? So he gets the call there. And I think that was a pretty gratuitous call.
Well,
that's pretty good defense, but he got the basket. Jared Dudley can't quite understand it.
The thing about Draymond, everyone talks about his three-point shooting, okay? And that was at 20% when he was a rookie, and now it's at 42%. But it's his field goal shooting, Jim, that went from 40% to 49%.
Yep.
And it's plays like that. It's a little bit of learning in the mid-range, better post-up game. He's just improved in every facet.
Well, when you make a play like that, he's not even expecting to get the foul. He's not worried about that. He just wants to get clearance to take the shot.
Oh, John Wall. Special. 360 move in the finish. Well, Steph's got 31. John Wall's got 15, and just off of Clay's fingertips.
That was a perfect pass. Just couldn't handle it. Wall's trying to take over here a little bit.
Sessions will draw the foul. Ramon Sessions very good at getting contact. That's kind of his game.
Yeah, that's Stephen closed on him there. I think it was a good call.
I would say this, players always want consistency. If Draymond was fouled, so was Ramon Sessions. And that's good job by the crew, being consistent both ways. Season ticket priority list is at 21,000 and counting. Waitlist members get priority access to exclusive presale opportunities and the best available season tickets the moment they become available at 888-GSW-HOOP. On that list for Oracle as well as the Chase Center 2019 in San Francisco. Sloppy ball handling and turnover there.
That's something Harrison still has to work on in his 4th year. And also trying to stay out of trouble.
And then the foul is going to put Wall on the line. So, I mean, psychologically, the Warriors really do not want a single-digit game at the half.
Absolutely not.
They're shooting 60%. They had led by as many as 17. They have Curry with 31 in the half.
Well, the Wizards weren't shooting very well in the early going. They weren't even scoring inside, missed opportunities. But now they've picked it up and they're attacking. You know, they've gotten 5 made threes, but they've really hurt the Warriors in the paint in this quarter.
Yeah, and the points off turnovers have been the problem. Washington is now +6 in points off turnovers.
16 points in the paint this quarter already for Washington. 2 men come. Draymond left early.
Klay Thompson hitting the corner 3. He's got the bulk advantage on Iguodala. Harrison came to double. Dene couldn't finish. And the outlet is knocked away. Draymond thought he was hit. And so he just turns around and blocks Beal's 3. The competitive heart of Draymond Green results in Iguodala missing a couple layups. The ball still banging around. And Washington comes up with a stop.
And they've got numbers.
And Beal can't make the Warriors pay. Missed opportunities both ways.
And they got the crowd back into it.
Steph Curry 3. Curry again. 13 of 14. And John Wall answering on the other end.
This is very disappointing for Steve Kerr. When Stephen, first of all, he's the hottest player in the building. So when he goes up for that shot, somebody's got to rotate back, because there haven't been too many rebounds from Steph Curry's shots tonight. And that means in the left corner. And don't bother to pick him up. Get back on defense. I mean, don't help the other team.
If you're wondering, Steph's career high in a half is 38. He did that against New Orleans. So he's got 34 in the first half. But Wall's got 20 in the half by himself.
On 8 of 12 shooting.
We promised point guards would play up to their all-star level. That's been accomplished.
John Wall was a starter last year in the all-star game, not this year.
Every time John Wall's going to foul him. It's silly because it's going to give him 2 more free throws.
He doesn't like it, but he's blocking every little angle there, and he's being the aggressor. And that is a good call.
So to give Washington the last possession, these would be Curry's first free throws.
So he doesn't have the angle. He's reaching there, bumping that. Yeah, he's lucky he only got 1 foul out of that one.
Steph missed a free throw. 13 of 14 from the field, 91% from the line, and he misfired from the free throw line.
8 of 9 on threes tonight. It looks funny to look at the board and see 0 for 1 free throws. 8 of 9, 0 for 1.
Guaranteed he wouldn't miss the second.
That's what I was going to say.
So now can someone stop John Wall? Because as hot as he's been, he's unlikely to give it up. And he doesn't, and lays it in, but it's an offensive foul. Take away that basket, and John Wall's not going to be pleased.
I wouldn't be either. First of all, he didn't hit him crash head on. I just don't like those calls. I don't like those at all. I vote for the offensive player.
And now a T on top of it. So 2 fouls on Wall and a technical. And Steph will have an opportunity for 36 points in the first half.
I think you pretty much have to hit full straight on, not just one side of the body. And then have a guy fall back. I just vote for the offense. Doesn't matter if it's whether red uniform or blue.
And you can't talk to Kevin Cutler that way.
One of the few officials he has to reach up to talk to him.
Final 2 seconds. Draymond setting up Harrison, his 3, and that will do it. But a 15-point lead at the end of 1 is still 14 at the half. Curry with 36 in the first half. 8 of 9 on threes, 13 of 14 from the field. Greg and Gary in the studio for Warrior Halftime Live, presented by Jack in the Box. Come to the nation's capital to finish off the road trip, and Steph Curry is saving his best for last on this trip.
Monster Jam.
Well, the MVP has some fresh material tomorrow for the POTUS, or maybe the POTUS has fresh material for the MVP, the two best acronyms in all the world. Would you rather be the most valuable player or the President of the United States? Right now, I think Steph.
I'd rather be Steph.
He may move into the White House right after Obama. Somebody may want to put him on a ticket. Welcome to Warriors Halftime Live, presented by Jack in the Box. Drink Papa, Gary St. Jean. The great ones don't have two bad shooting nights in a row, Saint. He was 5 for 17 Sunday in the Garden. He was 13 of 14 from the floor in the first half. 8 of 9 beyond the line. He had 25 in the first quarter and 36 by half.
The threes are amazing. I mean, he just catch and let it loose. But he also had a couple of unbelievable drives.
This
Look
one?
at this one. Behind the back. He also had another lefty one with Garrett Temple right on his right shoulder. I hope everybody was watching this. I hope they finished their dessert, because this was an amazing performance.
I thought Clay was hot Sunday in the Garden, but he was 14 of 18. Steph is 13 of 14. I think you're all well aware his career high is 54. Madison Square Garden, February the 27th of 2013. Could he get to a double nickel or maybe 60 before he meets Obama tomorrow? We'll have a saintly key. How about defending someone, Saint? They scored 60 on the Warriors.
Warrior.
All right, welcome back to Warriors Halftime Live, presented by Jack in the Box. The good news, 43-point first quarter, 31-point second quarter, Saint, but he gave up 28 in the first and 32 more in the second quarter.
Yeah, defensive transition, taking away the fast break game. Washington has 19 fast break points. If you know Curry's that hot, get back on D. Don't be going to the offensive glass. He doesn't miss.
How high will he go? Not as high as that camera, but if the game is tight in the fourth quarter, he may go for a big number. We'll see
55.
Afterwards on Honda Warriors Postgame Live. Double nickel.
Anywhere.
Our Jack in the Box at the half with the Warrior lead at 14, and Washington, D.C. at night. Our KFC bucket chart. Steph Curry with 7 made threes in the first. Never done that in a quarter. 13 of 14 for the game, and the highest scoring first half of his career. He's at a 36 second half and a 38 against Dallas and New Orleans. He was ridiculous.
25 points in the first quarter in 12 minutes. 11 more in 5.5 minutes of the second quarter. So he's scoring 2 points every minute. He's been unbelievable, and he's led this team to a 14-point lead. I wouldn't call it comfortable, but this was, I'll call it a presidential performance. Well, this was fantastic what he was doing from long range tonight. 8 of 9 shooting. And by the way, he's 13 of 14. The rest of the club's 15 of 34. Not quite so hot from three-point range are the rest of the club.
Shooting it very well. Threes have been terrific. Missing out on some opportunities at the line, and the turnovers have fueled Washington just hanging around a little bit.
Yeah, Steve Kerr's not going to be happy with 11 turnovers that led to 14 points. Points in the paint favor the Wizards. Fast break points favor the Wizards. They've got 19 fast break points.
They also allowed 32 in the second, but up 14 with the second half on the way.
Warriors basketball.
Getting ready to start the second half, and Jim, Bay Area traffic with the Super Bowl, people getting home from work right now.
Yes.
You missed Steph Curry with 36 points in the first half, 25 in the first quarter. There's only been 23 20-point quarters by an individual in the league all year. Steph has seven of them.
It's been remarkable. And that first quarter display Actually, it was as impressive as the 37 points by Klay Thompson against Sacramento a year ago, and the Warriors start off in a bad way with a turnover, and that's plagued them, and that's why Washington's been in the game tonight.
No, and Steve Kerr is reiterating what you talked about. Look at where they are in points off turnovers. Look at where they are at fast break points as Klay Thompson is fouled. This is a Washington team that is long, that gambles for steals, and you have to make the easy, secure pass.
You can't execute and have great ball movement if you're throwing the ball away, and 12 turnovers is just way too many right now. That has plagued them all season long. That's been the one Achilles heel, and yet they still won so many games being a little sloppy, and Steve Kerr does not want them to get into a habit and carry over to the postseason.
Matter of fact, Draymond and Steph just went to midcourt to talk to Steve during Klay's free throw to say exactly that. And now you watch Steph is talking to Harrison Barnes saying, look, when we run that play, here's what we're going to do if they overplay it again. So Steph Curry, Klay Thompson hitting both free throws with Harrison Barnes, Draymond, and Bogut to begin the second half. John Wall and Garrett Temple, Otto Porter with Jared Dudley and Marcin Gortat for Washington.
And Wall had those 20 points, 8 of 12 shooting in the first half. He got to the rim. Also made a three.
And Porter, he's gotten better, Jim.
Yes, he has. Well, 2 years at Georgetown. He's only 22 years of age now, in his third year. He's got skills. And plus, he could be a premier defender.
No, I agree with that. And Gortat blocking Harrison Barnes. John Wall is shooting that jumper very comfortably. He's 9 of 13. He's got 22 points, and he's only taken 1 3. I think that's also good judgment on Wall's part.
Much better tonight because he shoots about 25% of the shots threes. That's too many for him when he can get to the rim with ease.
Harrison Barnes missing short.
Barnes shot the ball well that first half.
All missing there. And, you know, the crowd is large for Washington, and they're kind of aching to get into the game. And so every time they make it single digits, the Warriors have to regain that separation. And the way this third quarter started, you get the feeling that Washington's got a little run in them, and an opportunity for a three-point play as Temple stretches out, finishes the layup, and draws the foul.
Well, they got Andrew to commit to the left side of the rim. Most of the big body of Andrew will go to the right side here, which is the left side of the rim, and he went up and under. And great job of getting contact and also finishing the play.
And Steve Kerr sensing the same thing. The first 2 minutes have not gone well. He's going to use a very early timeout here. 17-point lead is at 8 with the free throw coming. The Wizards not done.
Meet Tim.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Feldman with the Sportsnet Central update. The city is buzzing in San Francisco, anticipation of Super Bowl 50 all over the Embarcadero, the Ferry Building. And count Steph Curry as more than an interested bystander. On Sportsnet Central, we'll tell you why these two superstars, Steph and Cam Newton, have more than just a mutual admiration. Let's go back to Fitz and JB in the nation's capital.
All right, Feldy. Dave Feldman was big in Washington, D.C. before he came out to own the Bay Area. Steph for Prez. A third-party candidate, Jim. Exactly what we need.
Yeah, of course. Throw another one in. He's already, of course, he's too late for Iowa.
So Temple completing the three-point play.
I wonder how many votes he would get if he some crazy thing like that. I bet he'd get a lot.
He'd get a lot of millennials.
He would.
Klay Thompson hitting a three.
Yeah, they needed that. Klay kind of quiet because Steph's outburst was so dynamic, but he's been solid. He's 5 of 10, 3 of 6 from threes. He's got 15.
Washington knows they're in the game. And Porter fouled shooting a jumper. Now, we saw on this trip a wonderful first half in Philly and a clunker second half. An ugly first quarter in New York and then a couple quarters of extended good play. Tonight, the shooting has covered up some of the turnovers and some sloppiness defensively. And Washington's not a team you want to fool around with because they're better than Philadelphia. And I think they have more talent than the Knicks do.
You're right. The shooting has camouflaged the negative turnovers.
Can't wait for Slate night. The first look at the Thunder. That'll be Saturday, night before the Super Bowl. Special start time at 6 o'clock at 888 GSW Hoop. There's going to be an event at the Coliseum, so we're just telling people, not only is it 6 o'clock, but give yourself some time on Saturday to get there for that Thunder game.
You've got to protect the passer. You've got to come meet the ball.
Another turnover, and Ball gets the freebie.
He's got 24 as opposed to Kerr's 36. And Steve Kerr's talking about, you know, congested. You got to come meet the ball, all kinds of things like that. Just fundamentals. And
Draymond was fouled off the Curry miss.
everybody has to be aware of where the defensive players are right now. Because
whoa, that's an offensive foul. So Bogut will pick up the foul. Draymond was grabbed going for the rebound in his own right. You see that.
They're just locked up underneath. Hard to discern. You've got Andrew Bogut and the big Polish Gortat, Marcin Gortat.
Yeah, so it was kind of a first foul situation.
Those are two strong men.
So Bogut now with 4 fouls. Remember, no one's Healy tonight again. So Warriors are going to go small. Brandon Rush coming in.
Draymond's going to block out.
Ball hits a 3, and the Warriors officially have an issue right now. This was a 14-point lead at the half, and now Steph loses out of bounds. They've already lost 10 points off the lead, and we haven't even played 4 minutes.
He's looking to score.
Drop it into Gortat with Bogut not in there. Washington takes advantage.
He was very patient on the pick and roll. He got open, had a shot, but he saw Gortat had a better one. They're switching everything here.
Klay Thompson missing the jumper. Harrison Barnes, good effort on that rebound. And Harrison, open corner jumper, good. It wasn't a 3. Had his feet set, and Draymond found him.
But I think he's just such a better shooter when he doesn't have to initiate the shot from the corner himself and let somebody bring it to him.
Gortat on the roll.
He was quiet in the first half, but he's come alive here. Well, so has the whole team, and so has the building.
Washington has elected not to go small. They've stayed large with Gortat, and that's paid dividends. Draymond rolling. And it's Klay with the open 3. Harrison Barnes having it knocked away. Curry is going to get the excuse me foul at midcourt. And now Steph has 3.
Well, 1 3-point shot gives them the lead.
Total ISO for Wall here. Getting inside, blocked by Draymond Green. And he was touching the out-of-bounds line, but what a defensive play.
We saw him do that against Marcin Gortat in the first half. We're going to see this block. And then he goes out of bounds. He's going to land. So then he touches it after he's gotten out of bounds.
Right, and not reestablished.
Exactly. Heck of a play, though, both ways.
Coming off his man to help out. Off the hands of Gortat.
Draymond Green's the best help defender in the league.
Klay taking it at Dudley, couldn't finish, and Harrison lost it out of bounds again. Every possession is critical right now, right? The Warriors are mishandling the ball.
Well, you've got to protect that ball. They're just swiping at everything, the defenders are. You've got to protect it with both hands, elbows out, and go back to the fundamentals there. Get it in front of your body, and you've got to do it quickly, but easier said than done.
Harrison with 12 points. He will sit. Iguodala checks in.
You've got to have good, strong hands right now when you're trying to secure the ball.
You don't have a shot blocker here, and Draymond's got to guard Gortat. They're going to try to play bully ball. 7-footer banging, bumping, lefty, and Draymond wins that battle. Steph Curry, now you see him, now you don't. Flipping it up and out. Wall. Corner 3. And Washington still can't take the lead.
Well, Steph's got what he wants here.
Brandon Rush, feet set. And that's one of the easiest foul calls of the night. John Wall is shoving down Iguodala for his 4th foul. I would call Draymond Green undersized. He never even let Gortat get in the lane.
Did a heck of a job here. A fadeaway left-handed hook. And they defended right after that, and you get a kick-out pass, defend and run, and the Warriors will be back in shape again.
Silly 4th foul by John Wall. With a long way to go in the game, and the Warriors up a deuce.
It's Toyota's President's.
Warrior lead at 2. Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett with you in Washington. Chinese New Year's. It's the 5th year of an NBA league-wide initiative for the largest international fan base. 700 million people watch the NBA in China. 300 million play basketball. It's a state law that there must be a basketball court in every city in China. And I know that for the Beijing Olympics when I was there, and obviously the China games with the Warriors, who have gone twice, the fervor and interest in NBA basketball and the Warriors in particular is spectacular.
Yep. Total of 51 unique games and 111 total games will be broadcast and streamed by 10 broadcasters in Greater China.
So Washington wearing their Chinese New Year uniforms. Warriors will do that Tuesday against Houston.
And how about this?
Iguodala 3 coming out of that timeout. They called it a 2, and it'll be reviewed by replay at the next dead ball.
Just going back to think about China, it's big over there, and big country, a lot of people, a lot of revenue.
Nene is fouled. Well, I try to tell Iguodala may be worthy of a much closer replay review, and they will do that. And Secaucus and help out Sean Wright, Kevin Cutler, as well as Brett Barnaky. Now you think about China, Jim, 1.3 billion people. The United States is the 0.3. I mean, in terms of audience.
300 million to 1.3 billion.
Correct. We would be the 0.3. You know who's huge in China right now? Stephon Marbury.
Yes.
He has resurrected his career and won a Chinese Basketball League title last year.
It's hard to imagine a country like
They missed both free throws, and Draymond couldn't finish the layup.
The Warriors have a lot of work to do here.
They just forgot the ball. I mean, the game is hanging there, and both teams are so sloppy right now that neither can seize control. Steph on a switch, knocked out of bounds, still Warrior ball with 9 to shoot.
They're not getting the ball to Draymond Green up above the circle on that little switch play. In fact, right now they're not double teaming Steph Curry. They just switched and had Nene out in him.
Steph, 36-point first half, has taken 2 shots in the second half, has yet to score.
So Draymond is not allowed to be the facilitator, as we've seen in the past. He does have 7 assists.
They're bouncing Curry around as Iguodala is fouled.
Steph is talking to Kevin Cutler just about that.
Yeah, because Garrett Temple is larger than Steph, and he's being very physical. And off the ball, kind of grabbing and banging and bumping. And after 36 points in the first half, you would expect a team to try to make an adjustment.
I like Garrett Temple. He's worked his way in. 4 years at Louisiana State, not drafted, same year as Steph Curry.
Warriors 9 of 16 free throwing. Celebration of Chinese New Year. All the Chinese New Year apparel is available. Shirts, fleece outerwear, embroidered hats, youth apparel. And the jerseys are spectacular. All be at Warriors.com. Andre splitting a pair. So Washington had come from 14 down at the half to pull and win 2. Warriors inch it back out to 5 right now. Bradley Beal missing that 3. Brandon Rush the rebound. With Logan with 4 fouls, they've elected to play small, and Draymond has been in the middle of all the good defense and stops. Curry runner.
Well, the crowd recognizes it here. He beat 2 people off the dribble twice. Not many people, they're going to usually give it up there, but he found a way to weave between them.
Wallace sitting with his 4 fouls. Ramon Sessions missing the floater, and he just grabbed Nene to make sure he didn't get that rebound.
Thought Steph was going to give that last possession back out top, but he didn't do it. I'll tell you how he does that. He picks that ball up. He makes a move. He gets just enough daylight so he doesn't take the extra dribble, which can get you into trouble. Picks it up, but he's so good with that little floater.
You ever been to the Chinese New Year parade?
Sure.
He looked like the dragon sinuing back and forth through the streets of San Francisco right there.
I see the similarity you're inferring.
That was amazing. And just as Clay was 14 of 17 in New York, Steph is 14 of 17 tonight in D.C. So the free throws both down.
And they're picking him up in the backcourt. We'll see how that holds water for him.
Using a larger player in Temple, as Jim was mentioning. The quick jumper, rimming out. Contavious Caldwell-Pope did a good job on Steph in Detroit. You know, not small, quick guys, but using larger players. Bradley Beal, without a larger warrior in there defensively, goes right to the rim.
Bradley Beal is not certainly a catch-and-shoot player.
No.
If you ever thought that, it was misinformation.
Curry 3. The second half has been much different for Stephen.
He's looking for a shot more right now than thinking about passing, even when he doesn't have the clear opening.
Beal curling that out. Nene blocked by Brandon Rush, but a foul in the process. And this is one of the rare times we watch a team take the Warriors' small lineup to task.
Nene's going to fight right here because, you know, sometimes we've seen him just disappear, but he's thinking, hey, this is a game where I may come to shine here because I'm bigger than everybody else.
No, I think you're exactly right, is that Nene and Gortat said, okay, you're going to go small. Well, we're going to go pick and roll. We're going to go to the offensive glass. We're going to try to make you pay for that.
He's going to bring his effort tonight.
How about he and Dwight Howard going back and forth 2 games ago and had the ejections and everything. I got in a little altercation.
Bickerstaff, the coach, got a tee.
Oh, Draymond fouled up top. Beal going to make it earn it.
It's a strong move. And you can't be timid here. You cannot be hesitant. Draymond Green is not. He knew he was going to take a hard foul, but he invites it and goes to the line.
Now, you do a lot of radio shows. We talk to people around the league. You know, how do you beat the Warriors? What's their Achilles heel? How would you go after them? I would make plays like that. The Warriors are not a good free-throwing team. And I would foul them at almost every opportunity. I mean, tonight they're 11 of 18 from the line. Is that it stops the game. It doesn't let them get in their flow. There's a lot of Warriors that scuffle free throw shooting. You know, I just think that's something we have not seen a heavy dose of a lot, but if I were playing the Warriors more, I would. And Draymond splits the pair.
Hustle back in off the miss, gives them possession. And Draymond's got to pick that up from, and he will. Look what he's done with his three-point shooting. 67% from the line. He can be better than that. Iguodala, but he's got to be better than 65.
Hey, nearly had the steal.
They're playing the passing lanes everywhere. The Warriors have to make the adjustment here.
Washington is engaged with 3.5 remaining in the third.
Sometimes you have to make a little fake pass to get the guy to commit, and then you know where he's going, and then you make the secondary move.
Curry came out of the mix, and then they jump right on him.
There's the play we've been seeing.
Brandon Rush finding an open Iguodala. His three is good.
How about that ball moving? Outside, in, penetrate, kick it around, then cross court again. One of the better plays of the night.
22 assists. Warriors looking for the 8th straight with 30 or more as that ball is kicked.
I'm amazed they have 22 assists the way Curry took over in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Just taking it upon himself.
What's different tonight is 22 assists and 14 turnovers. That 3-to-1 and these crazy good ratios we've seen has not been in evidence. But the Warriors come up with a steal. Push ahead Barbosa. Brazilian blur to lay it up and out. Iguodala finishes. Now is the foul on the Barbosa lay-in, or is it on the Iguodala finish? And it'll be Barbosa to shoot 2.
I love the way Steph Curry led him. Barbosa just trying to protect. Keep his body between the defender and the ball.
So they called that first foul, even though both players were fouled.
See, and he can do this. Thought he might take a page out of Curry's book. When he goes up there, just go to the other side and make a little reverse layup. Then the defender just falls away into no man's land, and you've got an easy one. And I thought, we've seen Steph Curry do that with ease, and Klay Thompson's been doing that lately.
He has. Klay's finishes and attacking and getting more clever around the rim. That's all added to his game. Barbosa hits both free throws. Warriors do not play again until Saturday, and so it's going to be a heavy minute night for Draymond and Steph.
Barbosa's better from the line now.
He continues to improve as Beal misses that 3. The ricochet to Brandon Rush. Barbosa. Curry hesitated, didn't need to. That 3 is good. 41 for Steph.
That little double clutch was just to get the defender, Garrett Temple, see what he was going to do.
How about a double dribble on Ramon Sessions? It was Barbosa's defense that was bothering him.
Now all of a sudden, Washington's turning the ball over.
10 Wizard turnovers, 14 for the Warriors. If you're wondering who has the most 40-point games, it is Steph Curry. 15 of 20, 9 of 12 on threes, 41 in the game. Draymond was fouled as he set that screen before Steph shot it. It's the record that Klay or Steph will have at some point, Jim, and that is most threes in a game. It's just a matter of time.
You would think so.
Is that they're going to be in a game that goes down to the wire where they play all 4 quarters. Steph is 9 of 12 on threes. The record is 12 in a game. And Draymond splitting the pair again. So Draymond 5 of 7 free throwing.
I like this matchup. Draymond loves it also, but he got caught there.
He got in the air and he had to foul him.
He went for the up fake.
The most threes in a game. Steph has 9, but Kobe and Daniel Marshall. The other one I think the Warriors will own at some point. Most threes as a team in a game. They had 22 earlier this year. The record is 23 in NBA history. Because they take 30 and 43 sometimes.
Well, they average not 13, 12.9 to be precise. 13 makes a game.
Yeah.
3-point range.
Oh, back in.
But you were talking about this with me before the game, but when you shoot 43% from 3-point range and take more threes than anybody, and you hold your opponent to 31, that's a big thing to overcome.
Well,
right out of the bat.
2016, the line is the thing in the NBA. There's just no 2 ways about it. You better be good making them, and you better be good defending that 3-point line. So Draymond with 4 fouls, Bogut with 4 fouls, Curry 10 threes now.
You don't think he's thinking about what we've just been talking about?
Well,
I guarantee you.
Could you go to the White House and talk about how you broke the NBA record the night before? For threes made in a game?
He loves challenges.
Hey, he's engaged. It's that simple.
And he's talented when he puts his mind to it. So very mobile with the ball.
Wall, Beal, and Nene all in double figures for Washington. Steph down the lane, and Nene blocking it. Sessions attacking. And a nice finish. Anytime there's separation, the Wizards suck it back to a single-digit game. Steph, another three. Got his own rebound. Little push shot off iron.
Well, this is a great game at the Verizon Center. You'll know the outcome, but the people are getting their money's worth.
Step back. Misfire there by Temple. The final minute of the third. Washington came from 14 down to make it a 2-point game. And now Brandon Rush will shoot free throws. So Peter Guber and Ted Leonsis. Ted Leonsis involved in the Wizards and the Capitals. Peter Guber along with Joe Lacob are on this trip now with Rick Welts and Bob Myers and everyone coming to the White House tomorrow.
They've come a long way from the Baltimore Bullet days.
They will be giving the president a Warrior jersey number 44. And that's not for the 44 wins. It's because he's the 44th president.
That's a nice tie.
Brandon Rush splitting free throws. Warriors have missed 10 free throws today. Neal down the lane.
Good no call.
Great no call.
Try to take a charge out there.
Iguodala, he threw that in. That's got to be continuation. He never dribbled again. They need to help Brett Barnaky on this. They need to help him on this. Sean Wright and Kevin Cutler had a good look. He was grabbed and he never dribbled again. He shot it right away. This is how the continuation rule exists.
Absolutely.
That's all the continuation is.
It's black and white there. It's absolute. It's absolute.
He never dribbles again. He's fouled and he continued to shoot the ball.
What have they called?
They're going to give him 2 free throws. So they're playing Hackett Iguodala even though he made a 3. And he misses the first.
Where's the Warriors coaching staff coming up here?
Oh, Steve Kerr already had his argument.
You're kidding me. That's... Well, then there should never be... I don't get it.
So instead of 3 and potentially 4, Iguodala misses both. But that's incumbent on all 3 officials to work together.
We're going to get
Brett Barnaky needed some help there.
We're going to get a notice, aren't we, from the saying they made a mistake later on?
Rose Spades missing that 3. And now the Warriors can play for 1. Barbosa the rebound with the shot clock off. Leandro somehow got it back and somehow put it in. What a crazy sequence.
Nice concentration to stay with it. Get away, don't foul.
Heel along 3, and that will go awry. So it was a 15-point lead at the end of 1. It was down to 14 at halftime. It's a 10-point lead heading into the 4th. Curry's got 44. Both owners watching, and Steph putting on a show. Our Toyota game summary. After 3, the Warriors with Steph Curry 44. 10 of 14 on threes. 25-point first quarter, built a 15-point lead. It was 14 at halftime, and then the turnovers have come. The Wizards with 20 points off of turnovers and Warriors sloppiness. But Curry is doing things that have to be seen to be believed. And now as we begin the 4th, they've added a point. That Iguodala 3 that we showed you has been changed to a 3. The one-way went to replay in the middle of the 3rd quarter. They've added a single point. So instead of up 10, it's up 11 heading into the 4th. And we had that great aerial view that showed him behind the arc.
Curry with 44, but 25 in the 1st, 11 in the 2nd, 8 in the 3rd to his 44. But I'll tell you what, they've given up 92 points in 3 quarters. I know they've got 102, but that's just too many to give up.
Gary Neal
95
was also an excellent three-point shooter. Talk about Ian Dudley being the 2 best on the Wizards.
92 points at the end of 3 of those. They're a better defensive team than that.
No spades, the pick and fade, and you don't even have to look. It was Livingston who works that game with him.
Well, the difference with Washington tonight is they're playing defense, which they haven't been doing. They've allowed 100 points now, 11 of the last 12 games, but they're scoring tonight to stay with the pace.
Iguodala with a beautiful strip. He touched it last. Now, you know what's interesting, Jim? When it got to 2 and Washington had the building and everything,
yes,
it was Wall's 4th foul that changed the tenor of the last 6 minutes of the 3rd. He took that silly foul, pushing Iguodala in the back, took himself off the court, and allowed the Warriors to regain a little bit of momentum to control the quarter. Iguodala, another beautiful strip. Andre diving ahead to Spates. Barbosa, deep 2. And Barnes the rebound.
Smart, bring it back out. He's been having trouble when they get in congestion inside. They knock it away.
Oh, Iguodala defensively the last 2 sequences. And Andre's 3, ticked iron. It's Gary Neal and John Wall with Gortat, Ramon Sessions and Bradley Beal for Washington. Neal, remember him with the Spurs. I think that's the best basketball he's ever played. Went to Milwaukee and is one of those very streaky bench scorers that can present a problem. Harrison Barnes hides behind Spates. Misses the jumper there. Wizards at 50% for the game. Warriors at 49%. John Wall to the rim.
He's gotten so much better.
Just as they did to start the 3rd, the Wizards with the initiative to start the 4th. And that 11-point lead very quickly down to 6. And the Warriors take time. 9:51 and a ways to go in this one. John Wall with 29 of his own. Warrior basketball on CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Togo Sandwiches. Big and fresh, Togo's. We've had pretty amazing second half here, as every time the Warriors try to extend the lead, Washington has a burst in them. 14-point halftime lead dwindled to 2. An 11-point lead beginning the 4th here is already down to 6. Bogut is back in. Livingston post up on Ramon Sessions. Shooting right over him. Perfect. Steve Kerr just identifies a mismatch right out of that timeout and says, let's go right to that. They execute brilliantly.
And Livingston never forces it. He just takes what the defense will give him and gets to the spot that he wants. He's played 11 minutes. He's only taken 2 shots.
On Sessions. A solid game off the bench.
How about 5 or 6 shooting for Ramon Sessions? And Neal has been good off the bench, as you mentioned a moment ago.
Yeah, they have 4 players in double figures. Beal and Wall, Neal, and Sessions. And Nene has been good too.
3 of them off the bench in those double figures.
Livingston again. Why not feed a guy who's shooting 63% the last 2 months?
Yeah.
There's an art to that, to sit on that bench and come in. The game is hanging there and deliver. Sean has been great. Iguodala again knocking it away. Livingston fouling Wall as he began the drive. I've seen John Wall play really good games, Jim.
Yeah.
This might be the best I've ever seen him play. He has 29 points, 9 assists, 12 of 18 shooting, 2 of 2 on threes. He's been spectacular.
Well, he's one of those rare players in this league. Special company when you average over 21 and you average over 9 assists.
Yeah, 3rd in the league in assists. Runner that time. And Gortat committed the foul on the rebound.
By the way, the bench points, 46-27 favor of Washington. Yeah, there's the push. Pretty easy to see.
Iguodala's been in the middle of a lot of good things, and that time he was going right to the rim for the defensive board as Bogut had denied the shot.
But what I'm amazed at is the fast break points. Washington has 30 fast break points.
Yeah.
The Warriors' transition defense has been pretty poor tonight at times.
Livingston, that's deep for him. He made it anyway. So Estott with 3 straight buckets.
Over John Wall, and John's got some length to him.
Dipsy-do underneath the finish. We are watching some high-level ball.
I'll tell you what, he came into this league, first player picked overall back in 2010, 1 year at Kentucky. He was ready to play. Averaged 16 and a half his first year.
Went for the steal. And then Livingston on the re-steal. Bogut finding Clay. 3. Good!
Well, they made 17 tonight of 34.
Klay Thompson with 18. Warriors backcourt hit Washington for 62. Bogut, just the simple challenge, bothered Neal enough to miss that jumper. Klay Thompson. Bogut tried to save it. Gortat caught it between his legs. It's like a soccer goalie.
The old air ball still goes to the offense. Nice pass.
Gortat will be fouled.
Well, Washington knows they're still in the game.
Marcin Gortat is from a Polish family of boxers. And at 7 feet tall, he would be quite formidable, except he has the large proboscis. So it's a big target if he were a boxer. Now, you'd be punching up at him, but his whole family boxes. He trained for that initially before picking basketball.
An amateur is not going to get the punch in. They're going to be punched out. How about this save?
Pretty good.
He squeezed it quickly.
Well,
I'm telling you, I can't even think of going into anybody going very. I shook hands with him at a half court before.
He's a big man.
Before the game, he was very nice. But I have to tell you, when you're close to him and you see him, it's a little intimidating. It's very intimidating, actually.
Well, the hockey term for that save would be the 5-hole.
Man.
He stopped that nicely.
I can't even think of it.
Livingston cutting without the ball.
What a quarter. What a beginning to a quarter for him.
Sean Livingston hadn't scored entering the 4th from the field, and now already has 4 buckets. John Wall has never shot the mid-range this easily. It's spectacular.
It really is. So a transformation for him.
He had a hitch in his jumper as a younger player. Curry back in.
Look at Gortat way beyond the three-point line. Can he beat him off?
And Steph, step back 3. Gortat did well enough. Walls had the hot hand, but there, passed up a 3. Finding Gortat.
He ran that very nicely, and Wall set it up, didn't force anything, and just got what they wanted.
He's got 33 and 10 assists. Klay Thompson barely in his hands. There's a quick 3. Midway through the 4th and nothing decided. But the Warrior lead at 8.
They're shooting at 52%. Right now, they're shooting a little better than the Warriors.
Livingston will pick up a foul there.
Not from three-point range, though.
Take us to a stoppage. 5:46 remaining, and the former Wizard, Sean Livingston's been doing it all in the 4th.
It's Toyota's President's Day.com and NBC Sports Live Extra.
Saturday, KD, the Thunder, Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka. Warrior pregame live comes your way at 5. We'll tip it at 6. And our first look at the 3rd best team in the NBA. First of 3 meetings against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Our Metro PCS Unlimited performance. OKC's won 11 of 12. The Rockets on Tuesday, then the Suns, and then the All-Star break. And so the Warriors leaning for the tape. They would love to have an 11-game winning streak, but they got to take care of things the final 5:46 here to get win number 8 in a row. John Wall and Steph Curry have been spectacular. Wall with 33 points and 10 assists. Steph with 44 points. Shot clock down to 4. Bradley Beal setting up Wall. Did he get it off in time? He did not. 24-second violation. And the Warriors play the good D coming out of the timeout.
Yeah, he passed up a look at the 3. Opted for dribbles and dribbled the time away. He knows it.
So it's a small look here with Livingston, Draymond, Harrison, Steph, and Clay. So Livingston's playing the Iguodala role right now. Draymond Green is grabbed. And these are the type of plays that we talked about. They're going to foul Draymond at 67% free throwing, and the Warriors 15 of 27 from the line. It's perfectly executed, but Draymond started the year 80% the first month, 70% the second month, under 60% the third month. And it's just he's got to get to 75 or above as he misses the free throw there. You can renew your season tickets and get all the playoff ticket information at 888-GSW-HOOP. Season ticket renewal time for all the fans at Oracle. As Draymond makes the second.
6 of 9. And a good thing he's getting there. I'd like to say, you got to work at that. That's why they call them free throws. Sometimes players make a lot more in practice, and you see if there's a big disparity, you know, Stephen Curry is going to make 98% in practice,
right,
and it'll drop down to 90 in regular games. But some players will, you know, shoot 80% in practice and then shoot 50% because it's a mental thing for them more than physical.
Curry setting up Klay Thompson, missing the 3. Wall had missed a 3 on the other end. 9-point game, and Wall to the line.
Well, Klay Thompson just could not avoid the foul. Wall is so fast, and he's right into your lap before you have a chance to blink and react. Klay getting the hands up, but he just runs it right through you. You're trying to retreat, you're trying to go for the ball.
Now, there's always that discussion on who's more clever with the dribble, Steph Curry or Kyrie Irving. I think John Wall is the fastest with the dribble in the league. I think if he had a 94-foot race dribbling the ball, he would win.
I think most people would agree.
Because he covers ground, Jim.
Yeah, he puts pressure on you. That's exactly what he did with Klay there. That's why there are so many players that don't take advantage when they're coming down 1-on-1 or 2-on-2. I really think it's pretty easy to do that. And you've got to attack the basket. Sometimes they wheel out or they opt for a little mid-range jump shot. 1-on-1, definitely. You should attack the rim every time. And at this level, everyone should have the ability to do so.
So Wall splitting the free throws. Miscommunication there to the corner. Livingston threw it away. And the layup misfired.
That is a big break.
Garrett Temple unable to finish that. Steph Curry 3 is good. He's at 11. He's at 11. He is 1 off the NBA record. It ties his career high. Klay also has 11 in his career. But only 2 men have 12 in a game, and there's still 4:21 left. 47 for Steph Curry with 4:21 left. And is tonight the night he makes more threes in a game than anyone ever has.
I feel
The lead 11 with 4:21 remaining. Steph Curry with 47 points, 7 rebounds, 11 threes. The Ram shots of the game, 17 of 26, 11 of 16 on threes. And Steph Curry may be on his way to his 4th 50-point game of his career. And is this history if he makes one more 3?
Well, he'll tie history. Let's go for 13 and really make it his. He deserves it. He deserves it.
11 of 16 on threes. That's 7 in the first quarter. He had never done 7 1/4 in his career. Bradley Beal, nice little hesitation to show and go.
Well, interesting. He really hasn't forced it because he was 7 of 8 first quarter. Since then, he's 4 of 8
Yeah,
from three-point range.
Second quarter, 1 of 1. Third quarter, 2 of 5. And in the fourth, 1 of 2. You got Beal chasing Steph. Shot clock at 7. Draymond with ball handling. And then finally lost it.
I was going to say, Washington knew they had to get a stop there if they want to try to win this game. And I don't know what Andre Iguodala did there. Looked like he guessed right, and he was run into, and they're going to call a blocking foul.
And Garrett Temple lucked out.
Garrett didn't have the ball. He'd already gotten rid of it before the contact. Well, excuse me, the contact caused him getting rid of it. From our vantage point up here, I thought he got rid of the ball, but I don't know what Iguodala's supposed to do there. Open up and say, take a layup.
So the Warriors are over the limit with their 5 fouls. Washington is committed 2, so be Wizard free throws the rest of the way. Temple's got 7. For Walls 34, Bradley Beal 18, and A11, and Ramon Sessions 12. Curry with 47, Klay Thompson 18, Harrison 12, and Draymond Green 10.
Well, as you know, earlier on this trip, Philadelphia, Draymond tried to get the triple-double, right? Kind of hurt the team. So Steph's got to be cognizant of that. He's not looking to try to get a 3 and force it.
Iguodala setting up Klay Thompson for 3.
And that's 19 for the team.
The NBA record is 23 for a team. All couldn't finish there. Klay, he was very effective in making sure Nene could not save the ball. And he did that without being called for a foul.
I was thinking the same thing.
He wasn't doing it intentionally. He just was kind of body rolled Nene a little bit.
He knew where he was going, though, to obstruct the path.
10-point lead in the ball as we hit the 3-minute mark. Steph driving and flipping it up and in. 49 for Curry. Wall explosive, quick. Flip it in, draw the foul.
If you don't have any kind of halfway position, you should just, when you're in the lane waiting for him to come, you just let him go. And Steph gets a man, defender to overplay him. He said, I'm going to go around you. Here, Harrison, you just got to avoid contact and say, I've got no chance with that kind of speed.
Wall missing the free throw. We have 2 options. Like you said, Jim, get out of the way, or you got to hammer him. You got to go right across his arm. And that's goaltended. 51 for Steph. 4th time in his career he's hit the half-century mark. 19 of 28 shooting and a 51-point game. So, Mr. President, what'd you do last night? Did you happen to have my game on? I had 51, and I'm not done.
Well, as important as this game is, it's still a sport. I think you probably had better, tougher things to decide last night. You got to have a little easier time, but there are some other priorities possibly.
So 12-point lead.
That's a good thing to ask him tomorrow.
The question is going to be, does Curry tie the record here? Draymond with a layup.
I love what he did there. A little short dribble, quick steps.
You don't need to shoot a 3 up 14, so the game situation may dictate that Steph doesn't take another 3. Nay, denied, but fouled. So Draymond Green, another triple-double, by the way. He had one in New York. He has another one tonight. 10 on the season. Surpasses Tom Gola for Warrior threes in a season. So in a franchise with Chris Mullin and Wilt Chamberlain and Rick Barry and Tom Golan and Paul Harrison, it's Draymond Green with the most triple doubles in a year. And oh, by the way, we got a lot of games left. That is something else.
It really is. When you think of how dominant Wilt was and how his ability to pass, we know the scoring and the rebounding, that's on automatic, but he could go out and do whatever he wanted. I'm surprised he didn't say, you know, this year I want to get 10 triple doubles. And Rick Barry, his dominance, one of the great players in this league.
And in fairness to Wilt, they didn't start keeping blocks till the early 70s. So
yeah, he might have had it that way.
He might have had a couple triple doubles with 10 block shots in a game.
But they did keep assists.
Steph dribbled it off his foot.
That's a pure definition of the kick pass.
John Wall continues. If you're wondering, John Wall's career high is 47. He's got 38 tonight. The season high for John Wall. Wall and Curry, 51 and 38. Klay Thompson, another three. 20 made threes by the Warriors. Gordon will misfire there. Up 14, you don't need to shoot a three, but it'd sure be nice if Steph got a look. Harrison Barnes will take a triple. Rattle that out. So Steph Curry may be done 11 of 16 as Paul hits another three. 51 and 41 for the point guards. What a game. Steph going to use some time now. And Curry on Wall. Will he rise up and try to tie the record? And he's fouled. He's going to shoot a couple free throws, but not yet. That's the first in the last 2 minutes. So it's still Warrior ball. So with the game clock at 35 seconds, the Warriors will have to shoot it one more time. Is it a Steph Curry 3 attempt? Becomes the issue. John Wall will sub out, and the best game I've ever seen him play. 41 points, 10 assists, 17 of 25. He was just outstanding. Trying to carry the Wizards. Brilliant performance. Draymond saved the turnover, and Iguodala will get the dunk. So Curry will finish with 51 unless they foul. Greg and Gary going to talk about this on Honda Postgame Live. Jim is going to grab Steph Curry, hopefully, down on the court. Draymond Green will dribble into the front court with the best start in NBA history at 45 and 4. The 8th straight win. The MVP goes for half 151 for Steph. A career high tying 11 threes, one off the NBA record. And the Golden State Warriors sweep their Eastern road trip, beating Philadelphia, beating New York, and beating the Wizards. Highly entertaining game in the nation's capital. And it's on to meet the president and go to the White House tomorrow. 134 to 121. The Warriors continue to be road warriors at 45 and 4. What a game with 20 made threes. Warrior Postgame Live, presented by Honda. Greg and Gary coming at you right now.
Yeah, it's a little too late for him to get in the Iowa caucus, Saint, but I think he could get at least on somebody's ticket here. He could put you over the top. What a flair for the dramatics. Steph Curry goes for 51 points tonight. Draymond, another triple-double. Let's head back to the Verizon Center in D.C. Jim Barnett standing by with Steph. James.
Greg, Steph, I want to ask you, the way you started in the first quarter tonight, Was it going to see the president tomorrow, or was it your 5 of 17 shooting in New York?
I wanted to come back with a better effort than did in New York. Team's playing well. We're starting to pick up, more stride as we go through this road trip and want to finish off strong. So really important against a team like that to have a good start.
7th time this year that you've had a 20-plus point quarter. Incredibly done. When do you know that you've got it going like that? Was it the shot where it hit the front of the rim, the three, that hit the front of the rim, the back, and then came in?
That helped, for sure. That was a heat check. Just, I made a couple, want to see if that one went down. And then you just find a rhythm getting to your spots. And you have confidence to just knock them down. So that's basically it. You just find a rhythm and find the rim.
Well, you had the offense tonight. Your whole team did. What did Steve Kerr say to you after you lost the 17-point lead? They get it back down. Was it about the turnovers?
That's exactly it. That's what we focus on every night. If we take care of the ball and our possessions, we're really, really tough to beat. And it's showed tonight, like you said. Whenever we have turnovers and give them easy possessions and fast break points, they close the gap, and we had to focus back in.
8 straight wins here. Look out. Here comes the water. And it's cold.
I hope that's what Ron Rivera gets in about 4 days.
8 straight wins. You're 45-4, but it didn't come easy tonight. Washington, who's struggling this year, looked like a better team than their record.
They have a lot of talent, and they have a lot of aggressiveness, especially on the offensive end, and a lot of shooting. So if you give them opportunity, they're definitely going to take advantage of it. And in this league, it doesn't matter what anybody's record is. When they come out, especially when they play against us, they're going to get us their best shot and play with a lot of energy.
Your counterpart, John Wall, seems to get better every year. Pretty unique player. He had a heck of a game tonight. Your thoughts on him?
He's definitely turning it up as the season goes on. So he's always a tough competitor. Comes every night to play. He's so fast and explosive with the ball. He's making his jump shots like he's tough to guard. So he had a great night. Thankfully, we got the win, but you know what kind of talent he is.
Last question for you. You stayed small most of the night. Draymond Green again at center, the man who just poured the water on your head. He just picked up his 10th triple-double. What can you say about Draymond? What kind of year he's having? Your all-star buddy.
It's amazing. Every night he brings it. So, he makes us all better. And just the way that he can impact the game. We always talked about it as when he got into the league. Like, he impacted the game, but sometimes it didn't show up on the stat sheet. And now, every night it's showing up on the stat sheet as well. So it's fun to watch. And just proud of the way he's playing.
I lied, by the way, because you just had your 4th career 50-point game. So it's going to feel pretty good going to see your friend Barack Obama tomorrow, won't it?
Oh, that'll be good. Bring the whole team and celebrate what we did last year. And obviously get back home and get ready for this weekend, big matchup. So I also want to, my grandmother, Grandma Candy, who's in Virginia, had her knee replacement surgery. So this win was for you. And rest up and love you.
All right, Steph, thanks very much. Greg? Gary?
He really is the NBA's statesman, isn't he? Just everything he does is just perfect. Draymond tried to cool him off, but the Wizards certainly couldn't do it. What a night for Steph Curry. Where does it rank? Well, the Garden is still #1, 54 points, and opening night this year, right from the first quarter of the year, Saint, when he came out and torched the Pelicans for 24 on his way to 53. You knew this year would be special, and he ties what he did last year against the Dallas Mavericks. So 4th time in his career he has scored 51 or more, and the Warriors needed almost all of them tonight because they didn't play much defense. They're going to have to tighten things up on Saturday for the Oklahoma City Thunder. We had a wild ending. We'll talk about that coming up. Welcome to Honda Warriors Postgame Live. Greg Papa alongside Gary St. Jean. What do you say? I mean, right from the first quarter, St., when he came out with 25 and he had 36 by half, I thought maybe he'd go double nickel, but he got up to 51 and had a tremendous shooting game. 11 threes on the night and 8 in the first half, Saint. He was just so locked in right from the start. And this was a point guard shootout. Steph on one end, John Wall, different style player on the other end. What a matchup.
Well, he loves on the pick and roll when the big switches out on him. He just goes at him and just got to step back. move, and he just locks the guy up. And right there's a good example of it. Bigger guys cannot stay with him. How about the pass? And they've got a little backdoor cut right there. And he did it in a variety of ways. Now watch this one. Just usage of the screen and the quick release. And it's really remarkable. Now this one here, he gets a great steal. Oh,
That's
by
close
the way,
enough, right from there.
Yeah, close enough. I'll just throw it up. I'm not going to go all the way to the basket and lay it in. That's too hard.
Oh, man.
And, you know, he's just such a cerebral player. He just has a feel for everything going on, and it's just incredible to watch.
When he's shooting like this, there's absolutely no stopping him. He's going to beat you off the dribble drive. He's going to catch and shoot from anywhere on the floor. His first half numbers were just numbing tonight. He had 36 points in the first half alone. He was 13 of 14 from the floor. Look at that behind the back. We've seen him do that so often. Wrap around, come out to the right where he's poised just for the lay-in, Saint. You know what's amazing about his first half? The one missed shot, guess where it was from? The left corner. He never misses the left corner. Can we go back and look at the video? And he was wide open on that one. That's the only X. He kills that left corner. Everywhere else is a green ball. And he wound up, we'll get to his second half in a little bit, but he missed the NBA record by 1-3. So he winds up with a 51-point total. He had 8 more in the third quarter, Saint. And right there is what everybody's talking about. His usage of behind-the-back dribbles going left to right or right to left, just completely unstoppable on top of the great catch and shoot.
Well, we watch him work on it before the game, and he's got such a confidence level. It's remarkable what he can do off the bounce. And, you know, there's your early offense. That's dribble penetration by Livingston and a great pitch out to him. And, you know, he had a lot of threes, but I loved his drives. And there's movement without the ball. You're trying to overplay him, not let him come out on the right side for a jump shot. And when you overplay, he walks you out, and then he backdoors you. And, of course, you get a great pass from Draymond.
Warriors score 134 points tonight. That's the good. Steph was magnificent. The other side of it, John Wall on the dribble penetration. And we're going to see it Saturday against Russell Westbrook in Oklahoma City. Very similar players, Saint. Westbrook had a triple-double again tonight. They had a wild ending. But Russell Westbrook torched the Warriors to the tune of 41 points. A comparable shooting game to Steph. He doesn't make the three ball like Steph, but look at that, 17 of 25, and he had 10 assists. They could not keep him out of the paint tonight, and he's a streaky shooter. He was making jump shots tonight.
Great comparison with him and Westbrook, and this guy, I think, is the fastest in the league off the bounce, baseline to baseline, and he can really blow by you and finish in the paint. He's strong and ability to get it up on the glass, and when he's making his jump shot, then you've got a major league problem. I love the way he competes. I really thought he had a heck of a game tonight.
All right, Steve Kerr's going to be happy with the victory, and they're now 45-4, but he's going to say something about giving up 120 points. This is a good offensive team, but Oklahoma City is better, and we're going to see them on Saturday. So what do you say about Steph right from the opening tip? I think Jim said it best. It was a presidential performance by Stephen Curry, the MVP, and Draymond tried to cool him off. That was after the game. Don't cool him off during the game. And Draymond, 12 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds, and 5 blocks. And he wants Ron Rivera to have that Gatorade bath coming up on Sunday. The guy, he sees everything. He says everything. The heart of D.C. and get their thoughts. They've had time to mull it over a little bit. And you said, you know, at some point, Fitz, he's going to have every significant three-point shooting record. He's got the single season. He's going to have the all-time record. I thought he was going to get Donyell Marshall and Kobe tonight and get to 13 and beyond. But we'll be satisfied with 11 threes and a 51-point performance tonight.
Well, I mean, he could, Greg, if he wants to. You know, that's the score. When it got to be double digits, he wasn't going to keep shooting threes because they didn't need it. They got Iguodala, a dunk, and other things like that. But I think the Warriors will have the record for threes in a game. I think they'll surpass 23 in a game at some point. And I think for sure Steph and probably even Clay will have 12 or more in a game. But what I liked was just the back and forth with Steph Curry and John Wall. Just watching an NBA game, to watch those two play, it was just amazing, and the Warriors did enough to win the game.
They did enough to win the game, and it was a spectacular shooting exhibition by Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson wasn't bad with his 24 kicking in. The Warriors make 23s. I think what I take from this game is, though, that Washington gave them all they wanted, because you're not going to hit 23s every night. You're not going to have plus 36 in three-point field goals made. And when you make 20 and your opponent makes 8, it's a huge disparity to overcome. And the only reason that Washington stayed in the game tonight is the thing that has plagued them all season long. Not to be negative, but turnovers. Yeah. Turnovers are killing them. And when you give the ball up and you give 24 points to your opponents, so that's the thing. And maybe it's good because they can keep harping on that and saying, yeah, you're 45-4, but you've got work to do.
Yeah, but I think also, too, this is such a long season, Greg, that you're going to have these ebb and flows. And so they have tonight big turnovers, but we're not that far removed from the 81 assists and only 18 turnovers when they really were killing Cleveland and Chicago and then San Antonio. But you're right, Jim, it's an area, hey, guys, free throw shooting and turnovers, still stuff to work on. But you're 45-4.
Yes, and now there are so many good things that this team does. They're so unselfish, and Draymond Green with another triple-double, just generating everything. And I'll tell you what, Draymond Green is the best help defender I've ever seen. He defends his man well, we know that, but I watched him tonight from our vantage point. It was interesting from way up top, and you could see things a little differently. Yeah. So my perspective, I watched him a lot. Away from he didn't watch the ball all the time. And the things that he does, the anticipation that he has, the understanding of what someone should do when the ball is in a certain spot. And I marvel at how he anticipates that and sometimes beats the offensive player to the spot that the offensive player is trying to get to.
Yeah, and I tell you, Greg, we'll leave you with Steph had the amazing game, but Sean Livingston's 4 field goals in the fourth quarter, when Washington had made that push, that's why the Warriors are who the Warriors are. Whether it's Iguodala or Draymond or Clay or Steph or Sean Livingston, they're so deep that someone's going to step to the forefront when it matters most.
And you know what? It's a seamless transition from the starters to the guys that come in off the bench. There doesn't seem to be, they're all in harmony, if you will. The chemistry on the team, and that's where that comes into play. So the first stringers and Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry and Draymond Green have confidence in the guys off the bench. And that exudes on the floor. They know that. They know how integral and what an integral part and how important a part that they play in this team. And that just, you can't say too much about chemistry because chemistry is incredibly important, almost as important as talent. You can have talent and you don't have chemistry, you're not going to win in this league.
Yeah, so Greg, my whole job tomorrow is to make sure Jim doesn't say to the president, "What's up, baby?" That's that's my whole job, is to make sure that's not what he says to the 44th president of the United States.
Not even James would do that. I'm just hoping Jim gets through security tomorrow. That's what I'm worried about. But I think it'll all be good. And we'll see you Saturday at the arena. What's up, baby? All right, we are going to play you the highlight zone. I think Steph Curry will be in that a little bit. And we'll also get you ready for OKC and maybe a shootout at the Warriors Corral on Saturday night.
It's NBC Sports 5 Extra.
On our BMW turning point, Warriors were up 15 in the first half, 14 at half, but it got down to 2, 81-79 mid-third quarter. Steve Kerr, boy, he calls good timeout, Saint. And Iguodala, some great ball movement here. He gets a 3, Curry gets going, Iguodala gets going. You go off on a 22-13 run, and you wind up going up 11 by the end of the third quarter.
Well, we've said all season long that that's one of the great assets to the coaching staff. They attack mismatches. They get the ball to the right people at the right time. And, of course, when you're an early offense and you've got these caliber shooters on the wings, it sure does look nice to open up the difference.
Leandro Barbosa will lose the ball, but he'll beat the clock there at the end of the third quarter to give the Warriors the lead of 103-92 at the end of 3, and they wind up winning it 134-121. Steph Curry, 51 points tonight, St. Lee. Just a dizzying performance in the opening quarter, 19-28 floor, 11 of 16 on threes. And Steve Kerr's not going to be happy with the overall defense, but this game just turned into a shootout. That's the way the Washington Wizards play right now. They're not very good defensively. No. They don't rebound. They went small. It just got into that kind of game, and it's hard to beat the Warriors that way, but the Warriors gave it up on the other end.
That actually was a very good performance for Washington. They would have won against most teams in the league tonight, but you had a team, the Warriors, that weren't going to be denied. There wasn't any doubt about it. You talked about Steph. We've talked about Draymond. We've talked about Clay. But I thought, as the guys said, that Livingston really